Yeah, it was a messy weekend across western Kansas.
Yeah, it sure was. That snowstorm dumped up to 17 inches of snow in some places. Hundreds were stranded, and the National Guard was called in. KAKE's Brian Ramsdale is live in Oakley, where conditions are getting much better. Brian?
Deb, about 24 hours ago, where I was standing right here, right where I-70 intersects with US 40, it was a completely different scene. Cars weren't going anywhere. You couldn't see through the blinding snow, and the wind was blowing so hard, it just made it feel frigid outside. It's a snowstorm many won't be forgetting anytime soon. From these gates being shut down, closing I-70 for hundreds of miles, to cars being stranded on the side of the road. A late-season snowstorm caused havoc for many, and still thousands without power. Mike Morley works at Midwest Energy, and he, like all the staff at his electric company, are busy.
Okay, so what we're doing right now is we've got the new pole set, we've got the foam put in, and now we're taking the old pole out and taking the wires off of the old crossarm.
Hundreds of power poles snapped in western Kansas, the snow and high winds to blame.
When you have this much snow, it collects on the wires and puts a lot of weight on the wires. And with 50-mile-an-hour winds, that was just enough to push the pole over.
Meanwhile, snowplows were busy clearing roads, and while many roads greatly improved, still accidents happen. Trooper Todd Howman says that with so many people stranded at hotels and in their cars because of road closures, there is more of a traffic rush than normal on I-70 once the road reopened, and several of those drivers aren't driving well.
Myself and several other Hayes troopers were sent out here because we're having an overwhelming number of crashes.
Between distractions like looking at all the deep snowdrifts or cars that have wiped out into the ditch, it's easy to not pay 100% attention to the road, but if you don't, your car could end up like this. Luckily, the injuries here were not life-threatening. The Kansas Highway Patrol asking everyone to slow down and to expect roads across the region to still have problems.
All of a sudden they hit some slush or some ice and lose control, and we end up responding to many different crashes.
Now, for some lucky people, the power is coming back on. Here in Oakley, for instance, the power for us came back on at 4:30. I just got a text message from Midwest Energy, the provider around here. They say they're bringing the power on section by section around Oakley. And as for drivers, the Kansas Highway Patrol is asking that if you're going to be out driving in western Kansas, before you leave, check the CanDrive website. We have it up on our website. There's also a mobile app, so when you take a pit stop, you can actually look it up on your phone. It shows you real-time conditions of what the roads look like through cameras and some reports of what highway personnel say they actually are. Live in Oakley, Brian Ramsdale, KAKE.